Remembrance Day, a day etched in the hearts of many. On November 11th each year we pause, we remember, we honor those who served, those who fought for our freedom. This day is not just a holiday, it is a solemn promise, a promise to remember the sacrifices of war, a promise to strive for peace. November 11th, 1918. At 11 a.m., the guns fell silent on the Western Front. World War I, the war to end all wars, had ended. Remembrance Day marks this moment, a moment of relief, a moment of profound loss. World War I was a conflict unlike any other. Millions fought, millions perished. In the trenches, a new kind of warfare emerged, a brutal, unforgiving conflict. The scale of loss was unimaginable. Entire generations were decimated, families torn apart. The world grappled with the aftermath. From the ashes of war, Remembrance Day emerged, a way to honor the fallen, a way to heal, a way to hope for a more peaceful future. In 1919, King George V proclaimed November 11th as Armistice Day, a day for remembrance throughout the British Commonwealth. The red poppy. A simple flower, yet a powerful symbol. It represents the blood shed in war, the fragility of life, the hope for a world without conflict. The poppy's connection to remembrance is rooted in the battlefields of World War I. Amidst the destruction, poppies bloomed, a stark contrast to the devastation. Inspired by the poem In Flanders Fields, the poppy became a symbol of sacrifice, a reminder of the human cost of war. Today, millions wear poppies on Remembrance Day, a visible tribute to those who served, a symbol of remembrance and respect. Remembrance Day is observed in many ways. Ceremonies are held at memorials and cenotaphs, wreaths are laid, prayers are offered. A 2-minute silence is observed at 11 a.m., a moment to reflect, a moment to remember, a moment to honor the fallen. Veterans, their families, and community members gather. They share stories, they offer support, they ensure that the sacrifices of the past are not forgotten. Educational initiatives teach younger generations about the significance of Remembrance Day, the importance of peace, the impact of war. Section 5. A Young Boy's Promise. 10-year-old Daniel stood beside his grandfather, feeling a mix of pride and curiosity. His grandfather, a man of few words, had always been a figure of strength and wisdom in his life. The chill November air sent shivers down his spine, but Daniel barely noticed. He was too focused on the ceremony unfolding before him. He clutched the small poppy pinned to his coat, a symbol of remembrance and respect. The poppy felt like a connection to the past, a bridge to the stories his grandfather had shared. They were at the local cenotaph, a place that held deep significance for many. A crowd had gathered, each person there to honor the fallen and remember the sacrifices made. Faces etched with sorrow, respect, pride. Each expression told a story, each tear a testament to the lives lost and the bravery shown. Daniel's grandfather, a World War II veteran, stood ramrod straight. His uniform, though old and worn, was a symbol of his service and dedication. As the bugle played the last post, a hush fell over the crowd. The haunting notes seemed to carry the weight of history, a solemn reminder of the cost of freedom. Daniel felt a lump in his throat. The music, the atmosphere, the stories he had heard, all of it came together in a powerful wave of emotion. He looked up at his grandfather, tears glistening in the old man's eyes. It was rare to see his grandfather so emotional, and it made Daniel realize just how important this moment was. In that moment, Daniel understood. He understood the gravity of the sacrifices made by so many, including his grandfather. He understood the weight of sacrifice. The stories of bravery and loss were no longer just tales, they were real, and they had shaped the world he lived in. He understood the importance of remembrance. The act of honoring those who had given their lives was not just a tradition, it was a duty, a way to keep their memories alive. He made a silent promise to never forget. He vowed to carry the stories and the lessons of the past with him, to honor the sacrifices made by those who came before him. Daniel knew that this promise was his way of ensuring that the legacy of bravery and sacrifice would live on. Section 6. The Commonwealth remembers. Across the globe, in countries bound by history and shared values, Remembrance Day is a poignant and solemn occasion. Remembrance Day holds special significance in Commonwealth countries. It is a day when nations come together to honor the bravery and sacrifice of those who served in the armed forces. Nations bound by a shared history, a shared sacrifice. From the trenches of World War I to the battlefields of World War II, Commonwealth soldiers have stood shoulder to shoulder, facing adversity with unwavering courage. In Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, Remembrance Day is a solemn occasion. It is marked by ceremonies that bring communities together, fostering a sense of unity and collective memory. A day of national remembrance. Citizens gather at war memorials, cenotaphs, and public squares to pay their respects. The air is filled with a sense of reverence and reflection, a day to honor those who served. Veterans, young and old, stand proudly, their uniforms adorned with medals that tell stories of valor and sacrifice. Ceremonies are held at war memorials, wreaths are laid, and moments of silence are observed, allowing everyone to reflect on the cost of freedom and the price of peace. Veterans proudly wear their medals. Each medal represents a chapter of history, a story of bravery, and a testament to the enduring spirit of those who served. The last post echoes through the air. This haunting bugle call serves as a final farewell, a tribute to the fallen, and a reminder of the sacrifices made. The red poppy, a symbol of remembrance, is everywhere. These delicate flowers, inspired by the fields of Flanders, remind us of the bloodshed and the hope for peace. Schools participate in educational programs. Young students engage in activities that teach them about the significance of Remembrance Day and the importance of honoring those who serve. Students learn about the sacrifices of past generations. Through stories, history lessons, and interactive projects, they gain a deeper understanding of the impact of war and the value of peace. They understand the importance of peace and diplomacy. These lessons instill in them a sense of responsibility to build a better, more peaceful world for future generations. Section 7. Beyond Borders. Remembrance Day is not limited to the Commonwealth. Other nations have their own ways of honoring those who served in war. In the United States, Veterans Day is observed on November 11th, a day to thank and honor all military veterans. France observes Armistice Day, commemorating the armistice signed between the Allies and Germany, a day of reflection and remembrance. Across the globe, people pause to remember the sacrifices of war, to honor the fallen, to strive for peace. In today's world, Remembrance Day remains as relevant as ever. Conflicts continue to rage. The human cost of war remains immeasurable. Remembrance Day reminds us of the horrors of war, the importance of diplomacy, and the need for peaceful resolutions. It is a day to reflect on the sacrifices made by those who served, to honor their courage, to remember their sacrifice. Remembrance Day is not just about the past, it is about the present and the future. It is a call to action, a call for peace. As time passes, the ranks of World War I and II veterans dwindle. These brave men and women who once stood on the front lines are now becoming fewer and fewer. Their stories, their experiences, and their sacrifices are slowly fading into history. It is our duty to keep their memory alive, to honor their bravery, and the immense sacrifices they made for our freedom. Each wreath laid, each flower placed, and each moment of silence observed is a testament to our commitment to remember. We must ensure that their sacrifices are not forgotten. The names etched on memorial plaques, the salutes given by fellow veterans, and the eternal flames burning in their honor are all symbols of our enduring respect and gratitude. We must educate future generations about the significance of Remembrance Day, about the stories behind the faces in those old photographs and the lessons learned from the past. It is through education that we can instill a sense of respect and understanding in the young minds of today. We must teach them about the importance of peace, about the value of resolving conflicts without violence, and the power of unity and understanding. The release of peace doves and the creation of peace symbols are more than just ceremonies. They are powerful reminders of what we strive for. We must also educate them about the impact of war. Through archival footage, personal stories shared by veterans, and documentaries that capture the essence of those times, we can provide a vivid picture of the realities of war. Through stories, through education, through remembrance, we can keep their memory alive. By listening to veterans' stories, participating in parades, and attending memorial ceremonies, we bridge the gap between generations and ensure that the legacy of those who served is never forgotten. We can strive for a more peaceful future. By coming together in peace marches, supporting international peacekeeping efforts, and participating in community events that promote harmony, we honor the sacrifices of the past while working towards a better future. Remembrance Day is a reminder that freedom is not free. The sight of national flags waving, veterans marching proudly, and soldiers saluting at sunset serves as a poignant reminder of the cost of our freedom. It is bought and paid for by the sacrifices of those who served. The rows of headstones in military cemeteries, the fields of poppies, and the medals worn by veterans are all symbols of the price that has been paid for our liberty. We must never forget that. The engraved names on memorials, the eternal flames, and the candles held in remembrance are all reminders of our duty to honor and remember those who gave everything for us. Remembrance Day is a call for peace. A call to resolve conflicts through diplomacy. A call to build a world where war is not an option. It is a day to reflect on the human cost of war, the families torn apart, the lives lost, the futures shattered. Let us honor the fallen by working towards a more peaceful world, a world where differences are resolved through dialogue, not violence. Remembrance Day is a reminder that peace is fragile. It must be nurtured, it must be protected, it must be our constant pursuit. Lest we forget. These three words encapsulate the essence of Remembrance Day, a solemn promise to remember, a commitment to honor, a pledge to strive for peace. On November 11th, let us all take a moment to reflect, to remember the fallen, to honor their sacrifice. Let us work towards a future where war is a relic of the past, a future where peace prevails, a future worthy of their sacrifice.